Formal Fitness, everybody. I am your host, Jim Dandy, and today we are discussing metabolism. So I touched briefly on metabolism in my last video, the 3 Asians of fat burning. So basically, metabolism is the process in which your body processes energy. So some people with really high metabolism, you're going to notice they have a high energy. They burn calories much faster than the average person. They can enjoy a high-calorie diet and not have it show on their person. They can engage in a multitude of physical activity without getting winded or fatigued as easily. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, people with lower metabolism who have to monitor their calories and watch what goes into them because they will hold on to a lot of what they eat. Also, they are more lethargic, tire easily, and don't quite have the energy or stamina as the before mentioned. There are a few things that factor into one's metabolism. The first one I want to discuss is age. As we age, our metabolism slows down. For me, it was around the time I hit 29, 30 that I really noticed a difference. Before then, I weighed around 170, 175, and I was pretty consistent with that from about age 17, 18 till about age 27, 28. I noticed I slowly started to put on weight, and I hadn't made any changes to my diet. Now, I had a very healthy appetite, we'll say, and I ate maybe a little more than I should have been and at different times, but I always maintained that weight. It would go up, fluctuate a little here and there depending on, some days I ate more than others, but I never really had to worry much about my diet. And I noticed over the years between age 28 and 30 that I started to put on a little weight, and it was just a few pounds here and there, and I thought, oh, that's nothing. And then, I got up to around 180, and I thought, 180. Then all of a sudden 186 turned into 196. 2 whole years later, all of a sudden I'm 215, between 215 and 220. And then I just kind of, I was at a point in my life where I had accepted that. I'm like, well, that's what I am now, it's whatever. My clothes were a little tighter. I was buying some more loose-fitting clothing and making alterations and things like that, certain things I would wear and not wear. And I finally learned that's not normal. And I decided to do something about it. I started working out, and I started really paying attention to what goes into my body and what I do with my body. So, to finish up on age, for men it's usually around age 30, give or take, for the average male, where they really start to go downhill, sometimes as early as 25. For women can start in their early 20s to mid-20s, so I know, not fair, right? Other factors, health factors like thyroid issues. Your thyroids are connected to the metabolism. If you have issues with your thyroids, if they're overactive or underactive, that can affect the performance of your metabolism as well. So if somebody has thyroid issues, they can put on a lot of weight easily. And it's not just like they eat too much, they're holding water weight, they're retaining in different areas, and it's causing a massive size. And one of the ways you may know you have a thyroid issue, if you're dieting on a regular basis, and you're getting in a lot of physical activity, but you're not seeing any results on the scale, or if you're taking your measurements and you're not noticing anything that way, you may have some kind of thyroid issue going on. I would consult a physician. They can run blood work or whatever and see what's going on. There's different medications that can help with that, and different treatments. I won't go too far into that because I'm not a medical professional. Now let's talk about some positive things that affect the metabolism. Exercise. If you engage in normal physical activity on a weekly basis, you are going to increase your metabolism. It's kind of like I like to think of it as when they're using like the defibrillator on you, your heart stops. That's kind of like what you're doing when you exercise. Now, I'm talking about at least an hour a day, and I'm not just talking about like cardio, but getting some lifting in, different things like that. It's kind of like taking that defibrillator to your metabolism and giving it a little kick in the teeth and just get it going. Because a lot of times, you know, when we get older, we naturally become less active, and that can play a part on our metabolism as well. As we idle, so does the metabolism. So it's good to stay moving, and it doesn't have to be anything rigorous, just something to get that heart rate going and to keep that heart rate in a good place. And it's just good for your overall health anyways. But if you're really focused on weight loss, you got to have that metabolism where you want it. So that's a good way to do that. Now, another thing that is going to help the metabolism is muscle. The body will burn more fat the more muscle it has. The way your body burns fat, it's based on what's going on in your body. If you're tearing and building muscle on a regular basis, you're going to naturally burn more calories to improve the healing process for that. Because what happens when you're weight training is you're tearing muscle, and when your body heals itself to repair that torn muscle, it's adding muscle, and it needs to burn calories to do that. So I try to weight train 2 to 3 times a week, and I do a rigorous routine. I get all the muscle groups. I'll do like maybe back-to-back lifting days, and I'll get like my forearm stuff, and one day, the next day, I'll do like the back and the shoulders. I get my biceps, my triceps, I get it all in the chest. Leg days are good too. You got plenty of muscles in your legs. Get those in, working the core. The core is one of the best muscle groups to work because it's connected to the entire body. Your core controls everything. So working the core, and the core, it's not like arms where you need to give it a day to rest. The core, you can do core exercises almost every day and you're golden. Now, you can usually tell when you've overdone it, you get kind of a tenderness and an ache. Back off maybe a day or so, but get back into it. And core is so easy. I mean, I'm doing core exercises right now, just tighten those core muscles from here all the way down. Hold that for like 5-10 seconds and release. You're sitting at work, you're typing on the computer, you can be doing these all day, you don't even realize it. And you let it go. You're going to feel it. You'll get up the next morning and you'll feel that kind of soreness. And that's what you want all over. Anytime you're doing any kind of muscle work, you want to feel that kind of ache the next morning, because that means that you have pushed the limits on those muscles. And that achy feeling, that's the body repairing itself, which means you're burning calories. So that is just a little touch on metabolism, in negative influences on our metabolism and positive influences on our metabolism. So again, if you like what you see here, let me know in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this is Jim D. signing off.